Hello again. I would like this time to present to you how you're going to use the collaborative tools that I have put in place for you in order to start developing your work breakdown structure. So let me get you back to the example that I presented during my lecture. I've given a very simple example, that of a bicycle. So my project is to deliver a bicycle, like this one over here. Let me transform this one into a work breakdown structure. The bicycle is being comprised by the frame, the crankset, the wheels, etc. At the end, you will always see an extra deliverable, that being project management. Rule of thumb, you should always place at the first level of the composition project management as one of the deliverables. And this is something that the evaluators of your EU-funded proposal will try to identify within your proposal. If you don't have it, then this is a big minus. That means you're missing the major components that will help you bring everything else together in order to deliver the bicycle. So first level of decomposition, keep in mind they should always be nouns. And why should they be nouns? Because they represent deliverables. If you deem necessary to proceed to an extra level of decomposition, then you can go ahead and do so. In our case, the frame set is further decomposed to the frame itself, to the handlebar, the fork, and the seat, and so on and so forth. Another rule of thumb: not all deliverables have to be decomposed at the same level. So for example, you see here that I break down the frame set, but I do not decompose any further the crankset or the shifting system. I do not decompose them any further. The lowest level of decomposition, and when I'm talking about decomposition, I'm talking about the decomposition of the deliverables that are being expressed with nouns. You have seen here that everything is a noun. The frame set, the frame, the handlebar, the fork, the seat, all these are deliverables or sub-deliverables. I use nouns to define the deliverables. They do not all have to be decomposed at the same level, as I said earlier. Now I can see that I have no further decomposition here in terms of nouns. That means that I have reached the lowest level of decomposition. From this point on, I can start putting verbs. So frame, verbs from this point on will be buy the metal, verb, action. Transform the metal into the frame, paint the metal, or whatever else I want to do. So I have actions, I have activities described with verbs. Whenever I see a verb, that means that I will have to take a resource and assign it. If I do not assign it, then who's going to paint the bicycle? Who's going to buy the steel that I need to produce, or carbon fibers, if it is an expensive one, and so on and so forth. So let me transform this one to the one that you are going to use. The bicycle will go here. I double click here and I write it into bicycle. Over here, I will place the frame set. So I'll go here and I will place frame set. Here, it will be the crankset. Sorry for that one. Here, it will be the wheels. And so on and so forth. Now I see that the wheels are further decomposed into the front wheel and into the rear wheel. So I will go here and I will write front wheel. Let me change it a bit. And I will go here and I will write rear wheel. Change it a bit. Or I could change the size of the fonts. Double click, Control All, and take them down to 8. It's up to you. Now below these nouns, I have to start introducing the verbs. So the first verb will be to, let's say, procure the bins. You're going to buy the bins as they are. So procure bins. buy the metal to mold the wheel itself. You're gonna put it here. Here you're gonna put like procure the tires, and then you're gonna have to put another one like putting everything together. And when you put everything together, then you have the wheel itself. You will do the same for the rear wheel. And when you have them both, then this deliverable is available. So the concept of this deliverable applies to all other deliverables as well. In your assignments, I would like you to perform the work breakdown structure for your deliverables, but I would like you to exclude project management as such. Because project management, we are covering it through our course. There is no point putting in extra effort to represent it. I want you only to present the other elements. Any questions? Feel free to email me. Thank you very much.